It's showtime. What's good,
Yeah.
everybody? Glad to see a whole
What's up?
of the
What's
old
up?
faces back.
Good to see
Ladies
everybody.
and gentlemen.
We got the birthday man in the building, Emperor King
Yeah.
Wil.
Yo, what's good, man?
Yes, sir. Cameron is
Yeah.
back, and EJ.
How's it going?
We got Jeff in the comments, keeping track of our time and keeping us in line with the backhand. Uh,
Keeping the pimp hand strong.
keeping
Got
the
the
pimp
pimp
hand
hand.
strong.
It's ready.
It's a great start out to season 3. So welcome everybody. This is episode 1 of Saturday Night Nerds live streaming podcast. We got a crazy show for you tonight with a ton of announcements. Our first subject will be Last of Us, and then we'll move on to Velma. So that's going to be a crazy discussion. Just wait for it. Just wait for it. And then
Yeah.
what was the third and final one? Oh, Megan. The best for last.
Mathregan.
Nope.
Mathregan.
Mathregan.
Vision Jr. Yeah, or Ultron Jr. I should say.
Yeah, that's what you were calling it during the theaters. Like,
Do you call, I mean, I know this is off the wall, but do you call a female a junior?
I mean, I think so. Maybe like
I don't know.
mother names their daughter after her. Like,
Yeah.
I've heard, I think I've heard of it before. I mean,
I've heard
there's
of
like,
it before.
Or do they
but
just go by numbers?
like
Like,
really
you know, like
rare.
Elizabeth, it would be like Elizabeth II, Elizabeth III. You know what I mean?
or
But
like
is it?
maybe like Lizzie Jr. or LJ or something like that.
Yeah, I guess. I didn't know if there was a female version of junior, or you know, is there something that we don't use anymore? It's become so lost, and you know,
We can keep it real country too, and just call him Will Elizabeth.
yeah, Lil in front of it.
Little Karen,
Yeah.
Little Jennifer.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, that I'm cringing thinking about it. But yeah, I'm gonna play. So bad news is we cannot get the theme song changed in time for episode 1. But we'll definitely work on that. So hopefully by episode 2, you guys will be able to see what my homeboy's been working on as far as producing beats for us. And
in my opinion, I really do love the old one too, man. Like I really love that one.
It's stuck on me low key. Like
it is.
I'd hang on to it for a couple more seasons if need be, but I'm
Like
gonna
You
try
should change
to.
it up, like have an old school day or old school episode where you
we
do
can
some
always come
throwbacks.
back
You know,
to it. Yeah.
Yeah, because we got a whole lot of producers we can choose from. I got one that I'm related to. I got a couple friends that produce.
Yeah.
I got a lot of friends in the industry, and I want to give them all like a shout out and like show them all some love each season.
Yeah.
But honestly, we could switch up the theme song as much as we want, as long as we can afford to have all of those theme songs. But
and also if any of your friends are looking for like a freelance writer, tell them I'm looking for work, possibly.
Hire us too, please. We hire the entire Saturday Night Nerds officer crew. We
could come up with some good stuff. We could come up with some really creative.
Definitely pick you up and work as your editors and publishers.
Yeah.
Be like I'll be like the main writer, and I'll just have like a headache all time. So yes,
we're gonna mess around and start our own Marvel. That's what's gonna happen.
Whoa! We started our own publishing company. That'd be crazy.
That would be great.
Crazy.
We could compete with DC. Oh, dude, it's on.
Hey,
one
man.
of the
hard, man. I don't know. This is
I
hard.
wouldn't want to compete.
It's hard. It's hard.
Wanting to work for them, like seriously.
Exactly.
I wouldn't complain.
Oh yeah, it'd be a dream. It'd be a dream for real.
Like,
make me one of their writers.
Yeah, but I mean, if you get good, I mean, look at it. Look at like Jim Lee when he first came out and he was in Marvel, and I mean, everyone's like, "Oh man, Jim Lee's so gifted and everything," and he probably was like, "I'm gonna make Marvel the great." But then when he got a chance to go to DC and get to draw some of the characters he's always loved, of course, you're like, I can't not go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't not draw Batman. You know,
you turn that down, you fumble with a bag.
You cannot draw Batman. You cannot write for Batman. Yeah, so long as it's nothing like Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
That's true. because that starts to wear out on artists and writers a little too. You can tell like with certain storylines with Batman, it's just like,
Hold on. So are we hitting the old intro or like
oh yeah.
what's happening?
Whenever you're ready,
okay.
Deontay.
Yeah.
We are going to play this old school intro in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Is the best thing what? Exactly.
Hold up, bro. Pause. I do not remember the bass hitting that hard toward the end.
Bro.
Yo!
Them
I was over here
808s
like,
slap.
Either Will hasn't listened to it in a while, or I guess he's getting forgetful in his old age.
I think it's these headset though. You know what I'm saying?
It's gotta be the headset.
Like, dude, that bass was hitting. I'm like, oh heck yeah.
Whatever you say.
Mm-hmm. My cousin did that.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
Yeah, I was like, dang man, I low key want Drizzy to do another beat.
Like the full length version, man. Like
yeah, I got the full length version on my laptop. It's been a long time since I heard the full song, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Dude, I've been trying to experiment with it and like make different TikTok videos with the whole theme song, but it's just like, dude,
that bass was hitting something different though.
I need people to hear that because Dre got talent. Dre got some talent, man.
Oh yeah.
Miss that fool.
All right. So, where would we like to start?
So, without further ado, we are going to go right back to The Last of Us. So, HBO Max, brand new series, only 2 or 3 episodes old.
2 episodes. Third one comes out
tomorrow. Yeah.
Right. Now, before we go out any further, I know we just talked about this before we started live streaming, but how much experience do like all of us like have with The Last of Us? Just for us and the audience's whereabout.
0 for me.
I have like minimum experience. I've seen gameplay here and there and a little bit of the story, but I'm not really familiar with the whole thing. I was just spoiled on like one part of The Last of Us 2, and that's about it.
I've not played the games. I've basically seen a lot of it and know the gist of it. I've been told to play it, and I hope I get to eventually. EJ?
I played the first one. I've completed The Last of Us, the first one. I've seen parts of the second one. I think they might have had like a playthrough demo or something. I think I've seen firsthand gameplay on it. But other than that, I didn't complete the second one, and that's it. But that besides the show.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And how many of us have watched like the series so far?
I have. Yeah.
Okay, so we all got that in common.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, it's such a great show.
Yeah.
It really is.
I really like it.
I think they cast Pedro Pascal perfectly for Joel because he looks like him and he's just got the experience in acting and just the scene and where he's holding Sarah. I actually watched Troy Baker and Nolan North like when they were had a YouTube channel years ago called Retro Replay. They were playing and watching The Last of Us, and he was talking about it, like how he was mocapping and filming for it. Apparently his director told him that he needed Joel to feel like his daughter's like just everything, the emotions going through him, like his daughter's dying. He's a man who needs to fix this. He's trying to fix this. He can't, and he's lost it. He's losing it, and she's gone. I saw that perfectly in that performance. Like you don't see like live action like from video game adaptations done well, but that scene spot on.
Yeah, they kill that.
Yeah. I mean, his demeanor going into the whole scene. I mean, you watch him going from, focused and, hey, I'm doing everything I can at this moment to keep myself, my daughter, and my brother alive. And I mean, he's just on point with it. He's making decisions as they come rapidly. He's, dedicated to a goal that he had. But I think to me, when Pedro actually got the emotional trigger there moment for especially anyone who knows the games or anything, but just watching the scene is when he's talking with the soldier and the soldier gets on his little his comms, and there's a change in Joel's face. Like Joel almost instinctually feels that this is about to go south really quick. You know what I mean? And you see that fear in his face because he's holding his daughter. He can't outrun, the situation. He can't get through this situation. And it's like he knows it's coming. And then when the whole situation happens, it's that release of all that built up moment, that emotions, everything comes pouring out, and he just does it amazingly. He does. I was just like blown away how well he carried that whole scene.
Dude, the way he kind of, later on in the first episode, he kind of snapped on the officer that was like holding them up, and because he had like a traumatic he basically had PTSD about his daughter getting shot.
Yeah,
he just
flashback,
blacked out.
He's like reliving that whole moment,
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people in our groups are dads, and it's just like, could you imagine being in his shoes? Just like,
it breaks my heart, man. I was like, I mean,
the game are not parent, that just instantly gets to you. Like, man,
you're like, you shot my daughter, bro. Everybody in Fedra is getting taken out.
Yeah.
I mean,
very serious situation, man.
I mean, when they're sick. When your child is sick and you can't make them better, it's hard. Just to see the look on his face when he sees her wound, he knows. Once he looks at it, he knows he can't make it better.
Yeah, no.
And she's, and she's dying. So, I mean, I couldn't imagine. I mean, I've been in situations with my kid's sick. I've had to, take him to the ER for like an injury, and you feel helpless, and as a parent, that's part of you, man. That's part of your soul. That's part of all your being right there, and I know you can't do anything. It's just, it's actually feels like you're in hell. I mean, it's a moment of hell.
I liken it to the situation that I was in years ago where my sister had just had her baby. He was a newborn, and so we're all in the house and stuff, and having a baby, going to back and forth to doctor appointments and stuff will weigh on you. You know what I'm saying? It'll tire the mother out, and so she I guess she had something on the stove. She kind of dozed off, and before you know it, the whole kitchen was set ablaze. Bruh, like we all had to get up out the house. Had to get the baby up out of there. I had to run back in there and get something and then run out because if I hadn't ran in there, my mother was going to run in there and I didn't want anything happening to her. And I'm like, I'd rather it happen to me. But in that moment, all I could think about was like, if something had happened to my little nephew, I probably would not be able to live. And like, so to see that, to see Joel go through that, like, I'm like, bro, for it to actually happen and you have no power over that situation, that hurted me to see him crying like that. Like he was hurt to his core, to his soul, man, and it bothered me, bro. I'm like, if that was me, I'd lose it. I'd be like, nah, you gotta take me too, man, or else we
Yeah.
both going because I'm into your life right then and there. Like it's
That exactly how Joel felt too. Joel just like, man,
Probably,
no, not
yeah.
her. He tried everything in his power to try to like talk some sense into himself and then talk her into like staying alive just a little bit
yeah.
longer until he could get help. And it's just like in the back
And
of his
then-
mind, he knew he wasn't going to succeed.
And the
in
way he
saving her.
screamed out to his brother, you know what I'm saying, help me.
Yeah.
It was so heartbreaking. I'm like, holy jeez.
Yeah. And, you know, I mean, Tommy's in the same boat. I mean, he's got a moment where he can't do anything, but he's going to, you know, he's concerned with Joel.
Yeah.
You know, he can't save his niece, but he's hoping he can save Joel.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and but
Yeah.
can you, if you're in that position, if you have a sibling or a cousin or, you know, something that you're really close with and you're in that moment and, you know, you're like, they want to die at that moment. And you've got to try to figure out, how do I keep them from dying? You know, Will just said it. He's like, you just took what's so most important to me. I'm going to die killing you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And you're trying to stop them from going that route. You're like, no, you know, Tommy's probably like, how am I going to get Joel to come with me?
Mhm.
You know?
Dude, he is way off the edge at that point. He was like, oh,
yeah,
man.
anyone in that position would. But man, but backtracking off the really dark and traumatic part of that, I really liked how they did the shots within like the first 30 minutes, especially like when the first outbreak was happening and they got in the car. Because if anyone's played the game or seen videos or footage of it, you know that you don't control the car, you control Sarah. You're watching your dad drive and just seeing everything on the road. That's how it felt like when you were watching the show, seeing the road and seeing the people on the side of the road and the burning building to the side and just chaos amidst everything. And that felt really real, like that could actually happen. Granted, the planes like flying in so low, that was different and it worked, but it just felt really good and really real.
Everybody was panicking.
Absolutely.
Everything's in disarray. Like and that's another thing they did so well. They conveyed that feeling to the audience. You know, all the emotion that the characters felt, everything that they were seeing, the turmoil, everything, and you're like, holy crap, bro.
Yeah, most definitely.
And you saw it mostly through Sarah, because you mostly stuck with Sarah, for the
her
beginning of the
expression and everything. Yeah, they go to focus on her face, and I mean, she did an excellent job as a young actress. She conveyed a lot through her look. You know what I mean? And I mean, she came up. She was thinking the thoughts that you were probably thinking watching it. I mean, she's like, "How do we know we're not sick?" You know what I mean? So it's things that. But she's voicing it because Joel's in focus mode. I'm getting out of here. We're going to, you know, I'm getting my. So Joel and Tommy aren't thinking it. Tommy's thinking about, you know, driving. So they're not in the mode of what they're doing. You know, they're in do stuff, not analyze stuff.
And even
she's back there.
Even Tommy's.
Yeah.
And even Tommy's thinking about wanting to help others, because he was the one what do you they got a kid, and Joel's like, so do we. Move. We don't let anyone get in our way, no matter what. I don't care who they are. That's man, yeah.
Dude, I really. So I heard that the character Tess or whatever his female counterpart was made up for the show.
No,
she's real.
Tess was part of the game.
Yeah. Okay.
They actually, Annie Wershing played her in the game, and she's been in from the Runaways and a bunch of other stuff too. I can't think of right now. Timeless, and a bunch of other movies and shows. And the actress they got for her in the show, Anna Torv, she's done a great job so far.
Yeah, Anna Torv, or is it Torv or Warv or something like that? It's T or W. I can't remember. Torv. Yeah, she demanded so much presence when she was on screen, and I loved how badass she is and her chemistry with Pedro or Joel, and she basically had the final word and everything. It's just like, yo,
for sure.
She's a straight boss.
I like the person. I like who they have for Ellie. For sure, Bella Ramsey.
Bella Ramsey.
Oh yeah.
And apparently, I've never watched Game of Thrones, but apparently she was in Game of Thrones.
She was.
Yeah.
She was a badass.
She was a cutthroat
She
in
really
Game
does.
of Thrones too.
Yeah.
She was like
Yeah.
what, like the lord of what?
Yeah,
her
she
family, or
was
was.
the only left of that noble line. So she carries the house. So she had to represent during negotiations and stuff. And you're like, this is an 11-year-old little girl or something. She comes in there and she ain't playing games, man.
Yeah,
Right.
people
She's
laughed
like, I
at
got
her
50
too.
men, and
I'm-
those 50 men can kick ass. It's like,
I'm
Yeah.
sure
She was talking the utmost shit in that
Yeah.
scene.
and it helps that Pedro was in Game of Thrones too, so they carry that as well. But
That's
I'm
crazy too, man.
I
He
know
was one of my
you
favorite
don't think about
characters in
that.
GLT.
You don't
Yeah.
think about
Yeah.
that, yeah. Because
No, I mean, he's done so much. I mean, I didn't even know that. Like, I saw a clip recently. He was on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. He's like 20-something years old playing a college student on campus with Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I was like, oh,
he was in an episode of Law and Order Special Victims Unit, like season 12, like 11 years ago. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now he's the Mandalorian. Now he's Joel. Now he was even whiny Maxwell Lord.
Maxwell Lord.
He's just doing really good.
we forgive him for that. We forgive him because
I know he didn't do.
Mando made up for that.
What was that one?
Mando made up for that, man, for
Big
sure.
time.
But yes, he'll be fine.
One card.
What are you saying, Will?
Yeah.
Wanda Cart.
Oh no! I said that one cartel movie that he was in.
Oh, he was on the show Narcos.
Narcos?
He was on Narcos.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, you talking about Sicario?
Oh, maybe that. Yeah, Sicario.
The cartel shooters and all that.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one yet, but I want.
Yeah.
Basically, he's got like an IMDb list as
good.
long as anyone, probably.
Yeah.
And you would forget that he was in most of those roles, but now that he's come, front of screen, he's owning it. He's doing a great job.
I got a question
I
for.
remember, and now I remember back in the heyday, he did a pilot for Wonder Woman from, I think, for the CW, where they were going to have Adrian Palicki play Wonder Woman.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who would y'all have Pedro play in the MCU? This goes for the people in the comments too.
Oh my gosh, that's.
I would have said Robbie Reyes.
Scott Summers.
Pedro?
I think so. Maybe like an older Scott Summers. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know why that popped in my head, but yeah.
Yeah. The first thing that came to my mind was Robbie Reyes, but he's kind of
Scott Summers, but
he's
there
a
was
little bit
only
old.
one Robbie Reyes, and that is Tommy,
the guy from Agents of Shield.
Yes, sir. Yeah, he played Robbie in Agents of Shield, and I still want him to come back.
I hope he does too. If he doesn't cross over to the MCU, he can stay with Agents of Shield, and I'd be fine with that.
I could actually see. I would like to see him playing in a more, maybe a darker role, because you saw some of the darkness. You've seen some of the darkness, like in this series and in Game of Thrones with him. So maybe I was thinking he could fit the persona, especially if they went the route with Ghost Rider and Robbie Reyes and stuff, like
maybe Johnny Blaze,
Mephisto. Playing
he should have been.
The personification version, like Mephisto on the planet. Like, could he play the devil?
The human
and I think he could pull it off.
He would.
Yeah.
Right.
He looks a bit more like Mephisto than Sacha Baron Cohen does.
Yeah. Or even
wait a minute, they were gonna have him play it?
Yeah,
that's the word on the
the
word on the street.
rumors that he's gonna play him.
Yeah.
They say he's already casted in Agatha Hart, whatever they call.
We don't know
TV
next
shows.
to anything about that really, because I've heard that maybe it's going to be Aubrey Plaza who plays Mephistopheles.
Aubrey Plaza's her thing has been announced officially. She is supposed to be Morgan Le Fay or something like that. She got a big time role. I have to get on the internet.
That's definitely big because that's going to play into Doctor Doom, and
Yeah.
I mean, that's how he becomes like, a sorcerer equal to like this, Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
Is he actually
Right.
uses her to become way more powerful.
There's even a storyline where like Morgan's holding Doom hostage, and I forgot who came to rescue him from her.
Well, I would agree with. Well, I would say that too, but even though it's technically not directly connected to the MCU, they've from the Runaways. I know when season 3 they actually had Morgan Le
Fay. Yeah.
He probably
she
would
was
have done
hot.
a good Craven the Hunter too. I mean,
okay, you're. I like that. I really do. A lot better than Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yeah, and I mean, I like Aaron Taylor.
Protect the wilderness, Craven.
Yeah, but
Aaron
he looks like Craven, maybe a bit older, but he could have played an older Craven. He's got the spear skills, so we know that much.
Right.
Hey, Aaron could play the younger version of Craven, and then have him.
Right.
Aaron should be Barry Allen, honestly.
Pedro should be Barry.
No, Aaron Taylor Johnson. Should be Barry Allen.
Yeah.
He'd make a great Barry Allen.
We already
he could have had so many roles, man. He really could.
I thought he was about to say Ezra Miller, and I was going to faint on this show.
Are you out of your mind? No.
I was going to faint. No, I was like, Ezra. Oh.
Are you out of your mind? No. Granted, it blew our minds when they actually met in Crisis, but not anymore. No.
Yeah.
But no. Let's backtrack to The Last of Us. If anything,
somebody said Norman Osborn for Pedro.
Ooh. I was thinking Otto Octavius for some reason.
Octavius would be cool too. He could definitely do either of those, really.
Yeah,
for sure. Like Tom Holland's own version.
But it'd be hard. It's hard. It'd be so hard to replace William Dafoe, though. I mean, William Dafoe is
Alfred Molina.
Yeah, they're both great, and but there is no. When you say Green Goblin, I mean, probably for the rest of the time, it's Dafoe.
Yes,
I mean,
we can forget.
He'll always
be Gary Osborn from Amazing Spider-Man 2. I don't even remember the actor's name right now.
Yeah, Pedro, as long as he gets a long-term role and the character makes sense for him, then I'd be happy to see him in the MCU.
I mean, he could be in the X-Men and be Forge. I mean, Forge. I know that's I believe he's an indigenous, from the indigenous peoples, but I'm not positive. I think that's what his origins are. But I mean, if you're just looking at the character, I mean, he kind of fits the role. We know he can play, Mando kind of, would be an easy slide in to Forge, who uses, different types of tech weapons and stuff like that. So,
or maybe because he's already got like silver armor, he could be Colossus too.
Yeah.
True
but The Last of Us is
back.
We got off track.
So we covered the daughter, Nicole Parker. We covered Pedro.
Ellie.
We talked about Tess and Ellie just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not positive. Question about Tess. I mean, remember, I already gave my age away earlier, so I could have forgotten. But I don't think Tess died that way in the game.
No.
She took on the
soldiers.
What are they, Fedra or whatever?
Fedra, Fedra soldiers.
And she dies.
Right. Well, I think it's because we take off and we don't actually see her death because we don't actually see her die. So I think that gave the producers, the creators, a little bit more leeway because we actually just see it. And also, Neil Druckmann is on hand on this. So if he's having a hand on this, I'm not going to argue with Neil Druckmann for sure.
And I mean, it made sense, though. I mean, it wasn't a bad change. It was just like I remembered it, and I was like, "Am I having a Mandela effect moment?"
No. She did get infected. Like they did.
Yeah, she got infected, and she volunteers to hold them off.
Yes,
so they can escape.
Different enemies, like instead of soldiers, it's infected. It's different, but it works.
Yeah, she definitely wasn't going to survive that. So when I saw the grenades hit the gasoline on top of the gasoline, I was like, "Oh, wow!"
Yeah.
This is my first time being introduced to the show and all these characters.
It's wild. Yeah, it's
so when
wild.
I see the grenades, I'm like,
I thought with all that gasoline and all those grenades, the explosion would have been bigger, but I don't know.
I still freaked out when I saw that hit the gasoline. I was like, "Oh, she ain't trying to go in a blaze of glory. She's trying to get shrapnel too.
She's just trying to go in the blaze.
Yeah,
In the
nah.
blaze.
She wants to be cooked.
Yeah.
Tiny
thoroughly.
pieces.
Oh God!
Probably one of my favorite things from watching the show is the music. Just like how it sounds exactly like it gives off the same feel, the same emotion, the same tone as you would play in the game. The music is just so beautiful.
Yeah, and it portrays the stillness in certain moments perfectly. I mean, whoever got the soundtrack going and put that together, the stillness, like when they first hear the clickers, it's perfect. It is like the music leads into it perfectly, and it just builds to that moment where you feel their fear, the fear of the unknown. Of what's going to happen.
They look scary real. Like,
oh my God.
Yeah, for me, it was the my favorite thing about it was definitely the clickers, because I know I heard that in the games that it wasn't really the clickers that were the big bad in the games. It was actually Fedra.
Well, that's I think it depends on who you ask, because there's a lot of people that you run up against. It's the infected, the clickers, it's Fedra, it's even the fireflies.
It depends. And there's no clearly good and bad in the game.
Right.
I mean, even Joel, when you take the story, Joel's only doing what he's doing to, one, get him a chance to, go off and do what his goals were, and two, because he promises Tess. Right. Other than that, he doesn't give a rat's ass about helping anyone, curing anyone, saving the little girl. He does not care.
Right.
He gives zero shits.
And even by the end of the game and going into the second game, they're not sure if everyone thinks this, but I'm sure some people would think, because it's a morally gray game where you ask questions, you talk to people about what they think, that some people will think that Joel made the wrong choice, and some people say that he's in the wrong and the bad guy for doing that. But like I said, it's just a matter of who you ask and what they think.
Yeah. I was waiting on people to get on Facebook and act a fool about the intro visuals, because it's just Game of Thrones. But I respected that.
Hold up. Finish what I was talking about earlier. Yeah, my favorite thing was the clickers. I just like the horror that they brought to the show, and what really got me was that scene where he was about to kiss Tess, right? Mm-hmm. And all of those little
hairs, the little spores.
Yeah, bro, I got chills down my spine.
I think that's the one different thing between the infected from the game into the show, because I don't think in the game they had strands of spores coming out of their mouths. That's different. It's creepy and it works.
Okay. It works, yeah. Because if they try to do it like the game, in the game at this point, when they're leaving into the quarantine zone, they have to wear gas masks and stuff, because the spores, the infection all happens respiratory.
Right.
Okay. So in the game, you don't go too close to areas where the clickers spores are being released. Mm-hmm. Just like in the real world, in nature, when a cordyceps takes over any kind of insect or it'll make it go to a high point just to release its spores. Same thing in the game. You'll find dead clickers, or the one they found underground attached to the wall. Yeah. They get to that point, and it's basically like a bloom. They're blooming to release all their spores. You can't be near that, or else you'll get infected. But the reason it's so important that Ellie exists is Ellie can be there, and it doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. So humans could return to normal life. The clickers aren't like World War Z or anything like that, where it's so, you're worried about them overtaking man as far as just the numbers. Okay. The clickers all die off too. The problem is man can't go into those areas anymore because of the spores. Okay. You will get infected even long after they're gone. So that's the real fear. It's not the clicker itself, because the clicker, he can dry out, he can get killed, he could just fall off a building. they're not like a zombie. You shoot them in the body enough, they die. They're just a person that's being used.
Just on roids or something
Yeah.
like that.
Well,
They don't
like-
have the same pains and stuff. But I mean, their body, the cortis or the infection can only use it so much as the body's still operational. Because if you blow out joints, it's not going to be able to walk. The body's no good for them anymore. It's not like a zombie where, hey, I shot him in the leg and he's still coming. I shot him in the gut and chest. No, after a little bit, he loses too much blood and everything. The body can't function. It falls over,
So do they work like a hive mind?
Yes, that's different too. That's another fear factor of them, is that they share knowledge. So if a clicker learns of something, be it your presence or whatnot, through like chemical communication almost, they can share that information with other clickers. So they know there's a possible infectee in this area.
It's like it's like how the doctor explained in the very beginning of the episode. Like the fungus would be puppeteering humans, overtaking the cordyceps in their brain and just marioneting them, controlling them to whatever they need. And I could be wrong on this. Don't quote me, but like when they created the game, when they started this, going into the research on like fungi and cordyceps and all that, like the science is eerily scarily like real, like
it's real. It's absolutely real.
Like maybe not to this extreme in the game, but something like this could possibly happen, like who knows how far, like 10, 20, 100 years from now.
That's part of the fear of it, is that through how they during that, like Cameron brought up, that's a perfect thing. When doctors are speaking, he says how they can't transfer over to mammals because cordyceps and fungi can't live in a 94 degree or hotter environment. Okay. So mammals and all animals that are warm-blooded are off limits. Okay. But with every step of evolution, we've seen things change that, we never believed that to the level that, you could kill off an entire section of ocean. But look at the base of the Mississippi River coming into the Gulf. It's a dead zone. Okay. But it's created a certain type of algae that can survive in that dead zone. Something that, it's evolutionary. As we've changed the climate, we've changed the environment, it's changed that life form. And so that's basically what the goal, the idea is the cordyceps as we made the planet slowly hotter, they've become to where they can survive in hotter climates. And now they have new prey to help them expand, because they're like, oh, hey, I can survive in 96 or 97, 98 degrees. Boom, I have new vectors. No longer it's just vectors of bugs. It's vectors as in anything that's within, maybe 100 degrees or lower, I can infect. So
the way that sounds, me being a casual, it already sounds like they have a weakness, and ice might be a part of that.
Possibly, yeah. Basically, this show, the game, should have been a wake-up call to us, like wrecking our planet. The show should definitely be a wake-up call to that as well.
It really should be, because both of the creators of the game, only one of them is on the HBO series, and the other one, is supposedly suing HBO because his name's not in the credits. So it's just like, that's kind of a strange and unfortunate situation that both creators aren't getting credits for.
Well, I'm pretty sure it was Naughty Dog was credited for creating the game. I know that because I saw that in the intro.
It credited Bruckerman too, or whatever his last name was, but it didn't credit the other creator, and he's pushing a lawsuit now.
It's another Bill Finger situation.
Yeah, we're gonna have another social network movie.
Oh God!
No, so long as you don't get Jesse Eisenberg to do it, no, please.
Oh man, the bad list. That's outside of the horror scenes and Last of Us, where they had to like fight their way out of like a library or something, and thank goodness the clickers were blind and they had all sorts of disabilities that gave them advantage. It's just like
they're similar to like Tyrannosaurus Rexes in a sense. Like they can't see really too well, but they can hear and smell. Their other senses work perfectly fine.
Otherwise, they've been done for.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And they're basically stages. You saw what would be a late stage clicker. When a person is first infected, when you see Tess starting to act strange, when they're first infected, they just kind of act like someone who's lost, and then they get agitated easily and stuff. And as if the show progresses, like the game, you'll see they're actually pretty dangerous because they're still using weapons. They can still see, and they can infect you, but they're not thinking straight.
Right. And even in like before the outbreak happened, I
no.
remember a scene where Sarah was at school and this kid was shining his bracelet, I think, in her eye, and he wasn't doing it on purpose. That was just the infection just affecting his hand, just agitating it, and just like, oh shit.
Or the grandma in the wheelchair, like her behavior.
Like, oh, that just gave me the creeps.
Oh yeah, that was creepy. Man.
Yeah,
what,
I was like, yo, why is she going in that house? Little girl, get out the house.
No offense to older people, but that was creepy as crap. I was like,
no, it was two things I can't handle from like scary things: old people just being creepy, or just like evil, creepy children, which we will get to later on. I know, but still, but
yeah,
dude.
But
and the news like from yesterday.
Man, I'd have to beat a little kid or old ladies. You know, I might have to do them in. You know what I'm saying? If they start acting all creepy and stuff, man, it'd be on site for them.
Man, if they even get me in the same 5-mile radius after I see something like that, this be like, hey,
run,
where Dante go?
Run.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is he out of state? How did he get? I'm a speedster, man. What can I say? I get scared and I tap into the speed force.
Tap into the speed force.
All right, Wally.
He said, "Tag me in, bro."
And thankfully, yesterday HBO renewed The Last of Us for a second season, so we're definitely getting more for sure. But it also raises the question of how much of the first season is going to cover the game, because we know that they wrote and directed 9 episodes for the first season, and it takes a good while to get through the game if you play it like fully extensively. So are they gonna divide the game in like 2 seasons, or are they gonna do the whole game in 1 season and then do part 2 in a second one?
Yeah, I seen something on Instagram that came from like IGN or like a really credible source that the creator was saying that part 2 is going to be season 2, and then if they do drop a part 3, that might have something to do with part 3. But I had to go back and
Naughty
find
Dog
it.
makes a part 3.
Yeah, I seen something on that this morning too, and it was just like there's a lot of information that's hitting the net fast, and it was just like. I had absolutely no time to confirm it with my own eyes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was just Naughty Dog like getting out into the internet that they're moving on from Uncharted for some reason, which is very sad. But and that The Last of Us Part 3 would have to be decided on them.
Yeah, and that's probably going to be the last installment from other discussions I've seen. So that's a good way to end the entire series. So I definitely, when part 3 drops, I'll probably hop in on that.
Baby.
Okay.
We'll just have to see what happened with the end of the show, because we got like 7 more episodes, and because it's gonna get even more wild and crazier.
Trying to take it away from me,
especially if it's like gonna stay true to the game.
Yeah.
And also, I wanted to bring up the actress who plays Marlene, Merle Dandridge. She's the only person from the game. She plays that same character from the video game.
She showed up such a badass. I'm glad you brought her up, because we almost left the topic without giving her one quick shout out.
I almost forgot too.
Her and the Fireflies, they came through like showing Fedra what's what, and I got mad respect for her getting that role and still coming off as a badass as she was in the game allegedly.
Also like that you get to see a little bit more of the Fireflies in the beginning because we mostly hear like and see the Fireflies through Marlene in the game, but we never actually get to see like more than that and like what they do and like what they've done like to Fedra besides like the bomb that they guess they plant in the car as you're trying to get out of the quarantine zone in the game, but other than that you actually don't get to see much of the Fireflies until like the very end of the game. So
Yeah,
that was nice.
that's pretty cool, man. I have absolutely no complaints about this show. But we'll go ahead and move on to topic number two. Uh, so that is another HBO Max series with quite a reputation to it. Oof,
I'm not
ladies
ready.
and gentlemen, Mindy Kaling's Velma.
Why? Like honestly, why?
Yeah,
Like like I love Mindy Kaling. She's funny. She's lovely. I'm sure, but why?
Okay.
she was completely out of pocket for this entire series. The idea itself is just like, oh, sis, no.
How did she convince? I'm not even talking about HBO Max. They're on something else. How did they convince the actors to come and do this? Like Sam Richardson as Norville. Like just call him Shaggy. Just call him Shaggy. I know Norville's his real name, but still. And Constance
Yeah,
Wu was Velma, and I don't even know who plays Fred. I don't even know.
I don't know,
some
man.
poor sad soul is playing Fred,
Why would they
and
do that to that man?
the way that
I
they
don't know.
do
They make
Fred
him look
is,
like he's a psychotic like nut job.
I
mhm.
don't know. Either the voice actor was having fun with it, or he was just not having a good time up in there, just trying to make a bag.
He probably felt like he was doing something right for the universe, man.
I
Because there
don't.
ain't no way in
Like
hell
I
he can't
don't.
convince me
he
to take
had
that role.
he had to sit in the studio and listen to them call him little dick this, little dick that. Oh, it's because he's white, and this and that. I'm like,
We're
what?
we're, we're, we're gonna give him this white privilege and just shove it up him. I guess I don't know.
Like what?
They went crazy with that. They
I don't.
made him this big childish
Oh yeah,
baby.
he's just
They
a small dick
It's
white man.
overboard,
That's
and it ends up feeding into
It really
the
is.
whole
oh my
narrative given
god,
by the side that hates woke.
like,
This
dude, it goes
show,
deeper, even deeper.
oh
It's
my
not even.
god, they did
Yeah,
such a bad.
I don't even think like it's woke or funny or just
No,
anything. No, it's
and
not
and
nothing.
then
It's
but
just
then
because they
nothing.
portray it as that, those
Fred,
people that hate the idea of awareness of equality,
Hmm.
yeah.
they're going to use this as fuel for the fire. They're like,
Oh,
look at
for
the way they
sure.
made the white guy.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Look at what
Yeah.
they
This
said.
show is a freaking dog whistle. But
Yeah, this
Mindy
thing is.
Kaling is just basically fueling the fire for like people like just to get ahead.
Yeah,
And then any
mhm.
crime that happened, guess who did it? The white guy, the small dick white guy.
And he's the serial killer of. Well, he is the serial killer of the series, and he's in trouble all the
Uh,
time.
I
It's
don't
just like I don't know how Freddie went from being the dude that's always trying to get Daphne alone to the dude that's slicing every pretty girl's head
hell, not
off.
even that. More so like the guy obsessed with traps and schemes to
mm-hmm.
like this. Oh my gosh.
it is
Yeah,
poorly written. If this is really her work, she should have
yeah.
stayed an actor and not a writer
That's
producer, because
Yeah,
this is,
stay with
yeah,
stick with the
that's
Mindy
Mindy
crazy,
Project. Stick
gave
with
man.
the
zero fucks
Office.
about
Don't
this show.
yeah,
do this.
play the role, don't make the role, because you can't make roles. You
No,
suck.
Yeah, Nick Smith said it the best in the group. He mentioned the fact that watching this show is basically watching a retelling of Mindy Kaling's life. That's
Yeah,
what it feels like. It's exactly that because it's not
oh my
Velma.
and
gosh.
then it's
We
like
aren't watching Velma at all,
and then poor Shaggy
dude.
man, or
Poor
whatever.
Norville. You know what's
Norville,
funny?
Norval,
Yeah, I
Shaggy,
know.
you know what?
the
It,
supreme simp,
You know what?
Shaggy.
You know what's funny? They did a Scooby Doo series like actually 10 years ago called Mystery Incorporated, where Velma was interested in Shaggy, and
exactly.
now they're doing the reverse with Shaggy being into Velma, and it's just and apparently she's shacking up with Daphne with
it's so weird, like
Eastern Asian Daphne.
Yeah, if you want people to get historically accurate up in here, you remember that post that Rob posted about all the Mystery Inc. crew hooking up with each other at least once. So it's just like one big polygamy ball.
But yeah, basically just big orgy. I mean, yeah.
I just don't understand why what the fuel to redo everything and to just to destroy the old mold. I mean, we're talking about a kid's cartoon show.
Yes, and there is like I will say that there is people have the freedom and the ability to try to put their own spin on something old. Because Mystery Incorporated was actually a really good series. It was darker, it was different, it had storytelling, it was serialized, it was good. But I will always love the original.
I am in the.
But if they have the freedom and the ability to try it in something, if it works, great. But this, no, just no.
I mean, I don't. What I don't get is like they made. Okay, so we have Fred, right? The small dick white guy. Then we have the Norval or Shaggy equivalent. That's the super simp black guy.
Yeah, super simp, hopeless romantic, and he does he smoke weed or no in this?
He does not.
I don't know.
He does not.
And then we have bitchy Daphne, who's like, I hate you, I like you, I hate you, I like you, like half the time.
What's going on with that?
I don't know.
Like lesbian and Asian. And with two lesbian police officer parents, which are actually they carry the show.
It confuses me because are they into each other or are they not? What's going on?
I think it's a reflection of this generation, of the era we're in now, because we really don't know what's going on, and we don't know if they're into each other or not, or they're just wanting to fuck or just wanting to get around.
It really my is
language for anyone who is a minor or whoever, but still, I think it's just a reflection of the generation, the era that we're living right now.
Why do they look younger too? Like they don't. Maybe it's just the art style, but it's like
they really do.
I mean,
they're all high schoolers. At this point. This is basically Mindy Kaling's origin story for.
And she thought that it was good to show the inside of the girls' locker room of underage girls being.
That's what I'm saying. They're putting all these adult themes on high school kids.
What the heck is going? What?
Harley Quinn.
And then got the nerve to say that whoever looks at it are creeps. You made it.
30 seconds into the show wasn't even on for 30 seconds, and you see cartoon teenage titties everywhere. It's just like, what?
Harley Quinn is an animated, dark, comedic adult series.
Yeah, it's an adult series.
That's better than this.
But it's just like, then you realize, like, yo, you just seen like 16-year-old cheerleaders nude.
That's what I'm saying. It's like you are fulfilling the BS stereotypes and the talking points and the stupid culture war that's been thrown out there about this, and that this show is fulfilling all those things. Like my governor DeSantis stands and talks about all the time.
Daddy, I got hurt. See, I got hurt.
Yeah. What is his name? Freaking.
It just blew my mind that they let this stupidness go on for a whole series with a kids TV or kids cartoon, but then they made the kids look younger. And I mean, Scooby-Doo the original, I kind of figured that they were a little bit older.
I mean,
they're crossing the country in a band
18,
together.
19, 20, at least.
Yeah.
It's a pup named Scooby-Doo, basically, but just a little bit older.
I'm not gonna lie. I feel bad watching it. Like,
I stopped.
And then you're probably fulfilling a lot of these actual creeps out there fantasy by making this crap.
Like, it's gonna be someone's equivalent to like animated porn.
Like
so the characters made a comment about like, oh, this is not another HBO series with gratuitous sex scenes out the gate, and it's like, but you did something worse. You did something a whole lot worse.
That might have been better. That might have been
I
better.
don't want to hear you criticizing HBO when you came out swinging with
Yeah.
that blade. Bro. Like,
Yeah.
I'll criticize HBO for apparently for thinking about maybe continuing this because for some reason the demand is going up to like 127% for some reason, and I
People
don't
are
know.
defending it for Mindy.
Well, that's
probably.
ridiculous. That's ridiculous. I mean,
It's the
don't
same.
defend it just
I know.
because it came from someone who is just someone because of who they are does not mean it should be defended. Like
I mean, this is just my opinion, but I feel like it's a lot like when Miss Marvel came out. Okay, the initial backlash from Miss Marvel, all these people attacked it, and then a bunch of people went and supported it. One, because they were trying to support the Muslim, culture, and the female actress, and that it was female centric show. So people who didn't even watch the show logged on to give it thumbs up or positive reviews on the tomato meter. That's the same thing that's happening right now with Mindy. You've struck a chord with feminists. You've struck a chord with the LGBTQ community who are, they feel that if it gets canceled or anything, it's a knock against their representation.
So
it's not a knock against feminism. It's not.
It's not. It's definitely not.
A bad series. And
this
also,
is a bad representation of them. This doesn't.
Yes.
I wouldn't even put their names on it, but somebody already did. Somebody had to make them bisexual. Someone had to make them lesbians. Someone had to make it racial. Just because they don't want to get canceled, because now if someone cancels them, they're going to be like, "Oh, you're not being fair. You're not being. You don't like it because it's equality." I don't like it because it's a crap show.
You don't like our group.
Mindy's getting backlash on all
it's a crap
sides.
show. Yes,
she is getting beat up by people of color. She's getting beat up by different activist groups. I just seen a TikTok this morning where this girl, she's Hindu. And she's like, no. And then the caption in the background says, "Please, God, stop Mindy from putting another stereotypical ugly Indian girl that's misunderstood in the TV show."
But they're going to use that. She's going to use that to carry her show. Because if you cancel it now, you're canceling it because she's Indian. You're canceling it because it's a female-driven show. It's directed, produced, and acted.
Basically, either way you go, you got it. She making it to where you have to put up with it.
Either way, someone's gonna lose.
You have to put up with that garbage.
It sucks.
I'm boycotting season 2. So
screw that. We'll boycott HBO Max if they get screwed. Despite everything, that means they lose everything. I mean, they already canceled. They already canceled Titans and Doom Patrol.
No,
you're telling me, man. You're telling me. This is why I'm already living with HBO Max. We can talk about that at the end, at the tail end after. But I'm sorry. Well, I didn't mean to bring that news to you like that.
No.
Damn.
But my heart's broken.
I know. Trust me, you and me both. HBO Max and Warner Brothers pissing me off for the last year.
I swear, bro.
So, but okay. Do we want to stay on topic with Velma or?
I did want to give a thorough review. So I know nobody else in this group finished this series but me, or at least up to date on the series.
I've gotten up to the third or fourth episode, I think.
I didn't even get that far into the first, so yeah.
Yeah, there's about 4 or 5 now. I'm caught up, but it's just
we owe Dante.
Yeah,
I
really do.
The thing I did was I wanted to help support my brother, so I was like, you know what, we got to tough it out.
You're a good sibling. You're a good sibling.
Mm-hmm. We got to do this.
Yeah,
I couldn't let you be alone.
We owe D, EJ. We owe him.
We do.
Yeah.
Dude, you're good, man. You won't be forgotten. No man left behind. You won't be forgotten.
I was like, everybody, you're more than welcome to stay clear of this TV show. I got this. I'm gonna bleed out. I'm gonna let this
bleed it out and let it dry.
Don't doubt me, man.
I'll suffer.
The fact, man, that's what killed me the most is finding. I had a lot of comments to make about this show, but after seeing that TikTok, it just like kind of confirmed everything I always suspected. It's just like Wait, isn't that kind of like a stereotype to have like a chubby, ugly lesbian Indian girl
Yeah,
and then make her the main protagonist of a show? And it's like, damn, like TikTokers
that's
wasted
crazy.
no time calling her out about that. And it's just like, oh, the show is getting worse every time I think about it. It is this is probably going to be fumble of the year in 2023.
Oh,
So
It's
yeah.
already
Oh.
Let's
fumble of
hope
the
so.
year.
I
Like,
don't see anything beating it. I
I
don't see
mean,
anything
it
beating it.
cannot be any worse than any DC or Marvel product put out like for the rest of the year. It cannot be any worse than. It probably won't be worse. Transformers can't do worse than this.
none of the
I'm
DC
that
movies.
looks better.
to see it. I'm
Mhm.
excited to watch Transformers.
Transformers
Oh
is
my.
going to slap.
Beast Force, let's go.
Yeah, I
I'm willing
remember
to bet
that
that
back in the
freaking
day.
Shazam is going to be better. Shazam's going to be better. Flash is going to be better than Velma.
Have you guys seen the trailer that just wrapped down for Shazam?
Yeah,
It looks so good. It looks darker. It looks like it's gonna be really good.
yeah.
I'm trying to tell
Yeah,
people,
it
man,
does look
Shazam is,
it does look like it's bringing a little bit more of a serious tone. I mean, not darker like Zack
Right.
Snyder
It's a
darker,
little bit more
where you
serious.
can't
Yeah,
tell, like, you're just like, I have no idea what's going
that's
on
a better
darker
word.
like
Yeah,
this. Like,
that is a better
yeah.
word. And also, I think because him facing off against Lucy Liu, it's gonna be really good, and hopefully another
Ooh.
reason to keep Zachary Levi on because
Yeah.
we love him. He's a nerd like the rest of us, and he loves.
And he's done a great job.
Yes,
I mean,
he
they
has.
all did a great job. They
He's
all
earned
did.
it.
They've all
Mhm.
done a great job. We keep
And-
the whole cast.
Yeah.
Keep this cast.
I'm
Don't
gonna
keep
miss
most of the
Henry.
cast.
I'll bet $20 right now that Shazam is better than Velma.
Oh yeah,
It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I just feel like if I was part of any of those other culture or cultural categories, I would be upset at that show for abusing it to safeguard itself from being canceled.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
There's no
She
reason for that.
projected so
Yeah.
much on these characters.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
I
mean, the only
might
way
have
it could
to
have
do
been
like
worse,
a,
like the only way they could have made it like any more was like if they made Fred a black paraplegic, gay man.
homosexual.
Yeah, I'm like,
Right. That'd be like the ultimate stereotype.
yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
That'd be
but
like
crazy,
that's what they would
man.
do to protect this show. So
If
if
they
you
don't-
cancel it, you're like, you don't like all those people. Like,
mean-
no, dude, I don't like the show.
I pray to
don't
God,
like
my
Mindy
personal
anymore.
opinion, I hope they don't renew it, but if they do, I'm gonna go off on HBO Max and like in Warner Brothers for renewing this crap, but canceling shows
But then
like Legends of
canceling
Tomorrow,
freaking-
Titans, Doom Patrol.
Oh, it's
like,
official.
why?
Yeah, Doom Patrol. I mean, seriously, you canceled Doom Patrol?
I
But you're gonna
know.
keep this?
Brandon
We keep
Fraser.
Velma.
Brendan Fraser's Robot Man, yes, and he,
Because of
he
this show
he won
that
an award for the whale.
yeah, Velma's as a character's approval rate or whatever popularity polls skyrocketed because of this show. And
What?
it's just like that's kind of a
Yeah, it's
That-
nuts. Yeah.
no.
All the negative press, all the negative reviews and issues. For some reason,
Okay,
it's
yeah, I
getting
can
like
see
the
that.
man raise and just like
yeah.
high popularity. I don't know. I can't explain it. It's really messed up. And if it does get renewed, we'll basically we'll have everyone block HBO Max. Like, block-
Dude,
Yeah.
Right.
I'll boycott it just because of the fact that it's disrespectful to the
I'm ending
LGBTQ community. It's disrespectful to the people of color. It's disrespectful. It's disrespectful to white people. There's no
disrespectful
reason
to
to be throwing that
Hanna-Barbera.
crap out.
It's
There's not.
disrespectful to Velma. It's
Yeah.
disrespectful to Hanna-Barbera.
It's disrespectful to Scooby Doo.
Scooby Doo.
Yeah, exactly.
Velma doesn't
let's hope they don't
do
do anything
this,
to Scooby Doo if they try to bring him on. Please.
Oh my
they
Just
god.
keep him a dog. Keep him a dog.
Yeah, he'll be a white poodle,
Scooby Doo would probably be like a freaking
snickerdoodle.
A Mexican.
He'd probably be an immigrant or
a
something.
Chihuahua. Yeah, a Chihuahua.
Chihuahua.
A chihuahua with no hind legs that uses wheels.
A blind Chihuahua.
Yeah.
Let's not get too extreme. We
Yeah.
good, D? Do you want to? Because I can't believe I'm saying
I had a
this,
couple
but
more thoughts. Yeah, I had a couple more thoughts, and then we could. But yeah. Velma, this show disrespected Velma herself. Like, if you were to write this series yourself and how you would give your take on Velma's origin story, first and foremost, if you're going to give her a plot, stick to it. Because you watch this show and it's just like, okay, Velma's objective is to find her mom.
It's all over
And
the place.
and then when you like watch the show as it goes on, it just like gets further and further and further away from the plot. And it's just like, okay, these conversations are getting way out of hand. I appreciate some of the jokes that do land a punch, but can we please get back to Velma solving mysteries, being a highly intelligent badass, and actually solving the overall mystery that she's supposed to be solving? And it's just like, it's more runarounds than anything, because it's just like, I got a lead on something and I'm going to go to Fred's house to see what's what, and then a whole lot more bullcrap comes through before she even gets a hint about what her big mystery is. So it's just like, oh man, dude, I can't wait till season 1 is done,
and just the show be done.
Yeah, I got to stick it out through the end just in case there is even a little bit improvement.
Yeah,
a little bit. Then
there are animated shows that if anyone knows, like Amphibia or the Owl House, those are animated shows on Disney Channel, and those are more serious, more serialized, and have more story and plot. Even though they have like fun one-off episodes, but those are much better. And they even talk about like death and LGBTQ and just all those different cultures and ideas. Those are great shows. They're much better than this. I recommend Amphibia and the Owl House to anyone. Like, you guys should definitely watch them if you haven't.
There's quite a few shows that get into the weeds of it, and they're actually like really politically correct about it, but still keep the adult humor going. Like Big Mouth. Big Mouth is really big on inclusion and all that, and like exploring sexuality, the different types of sexualities, and
they were smart though. They didn't gear it towards kids. They definitely geared it as an adult, you know, or at least young adult, you know, foray into sexuality and, you know, coming of age. It wasn't done like they didn't pick up, you know, the Jetsons and be like, oh, hey, we're going to do a show about sexuality with the Jetsons.
Yeah. And it's just
we're going to call it George. George gets, you know, I don't know, pegged. The George Gets Pegged show. And, you know, and then written by Mindy. Like,
if HBO Max and
George is actually a cuck and he watches his wife getting it.
Please leave the Jetsons and the Flintstones alone. They're classics. We love them for what they are. Leave them alone.
Imagine waking up one morning and finding out Mindy Kaling gets the rights to all those shows.
Watch this.
Somehow she gets Hanna-Barbera shows.
Absolutely.
Watch this.
We would riot, bro.
It'd be like a new Johnny Quest where, you know, like Johnny's a total idiot and he's actually the culprit and the bad guy, and, you know, Haji's the hero, but he's...
No one's done anything with Johnny Quest.
Mindy Kaling's G.I. Joe. Oh.
Oh, God. I mean, can it be any worse than, like, forgive me for some, but for the movies that they've done?
Let's do Johnny Bravo.
Oh.
Mindy,
now that I think about it, I did stray away from Hanna-Barbera a little bit, but if Mindy just one morning announced to the world that she had the rights to all the Hanna-Barbera, we will not
let it happen.
Bruh.
For Hannah, we will not let that happen. But
if Mindy did Johnny Bravo, what would that look like?
I don't think you could do Johnny Bravo as a series now.
She would tear Johnny Bravo up. She would destroy him.
It'd be Jane Bravo, and
it would still be Johnny, but he would be referred to as a Texas pig.
Yeah,
because as much as I love Johnny Bravo, I'm pretty sure you couldn't do that in like today's era, like really as a show.
No,
because making all the moves on all women and just be like, yeah, no, I don't think you could do
womanizer, like, bro, Mindy would tear him apart.
I mean, he was just trying to spit some game back then, man.
And he got beat up rightfully. Like, so what's the what's the problem,
not for
Mindy?
me. I mean, I love the show for what it was back then. I do. But yeah, I mean, someone will just take it the other way and be like, here you go. Here's our new Weinberg.
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah, and freaking Johnny Bravo does nothing but go up and shoot his shot and then get socked in the mouth.
Get shot down.
He gets like girls will stiff arm him, throw him in the garbage cans, uppercut him up to the moon.
There's going to be a whole culture of young men who are very angry about being turned down. So we don't need a show that also does that because
no, because that'll
Mindy's
just
good for that.
Because for all we know, someone will take that anger that's already stored up in them, and it'll just to a point be like, "Take me out of date, or else I'll blow us up," or something like that.
Yep.
Right.
Right.
But
it wouldn't surprise us. It'd be
Not
like
saying
something
it.
where you're like, "That's terrible," but yeah, I saw that coming. It's terrible.
Can't believe I'm saying this, but are we ready to move on to
You
the
ready?
creepy doll?
I'm ready.
Oh yes.
Okay, thank God.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm saying that.
Yeah. Yeah. 'Cause I was definitely like,
Oh man,
the
that was
more I thought
painful.
about it, the worse it was going to get.
Oh, that was painful.
Man,
that was so foul.
And just to let everyone know that these guys already know, I have not watched Megan. I'm probably not gonna. I'm not a fan of like creepy horror movies.
No.
So no.
Okay.
Understandable.
Okay.
Understandable.
But I have heard like it's done very, very well in like theaters and reviews. And you and Will went to watch it.
It earned a sequel.
I've actually watched it twice now.
Watch it twice.
Yeah.
Oh,
I just watched it. I just finished watching it before the show. So
nice.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna let Will go first because
I was actually
birthday
gonna let,
man.
Okay, I mean, I was gonna let EJ go if since he just now watching it, it's fresh on his mind and everything. Right. So I wanted to hear his take.
Yeah.
I mean it's a man versus machine story, and but it's definitely got the more modern take. It's done very, very well. I mean, it's not a horror movie. I would say at best it's a suspense, a thriller. Okay. It's now if they ever came out with like an unedited version, I'm sure there's scenes that would probably be considered too gory because they pass it off as PG-13, so it automatically you knock down the violence level that's going to be on screen, which is good in a way because you tell more of the story. You're not focused on, pulling eyeballs out of heads and stuff. That's great. It's great special effects. It's a good, grab the audience. But if you want to tell a story, they did a good job doing it with this. And it's as subtle as just looks, focusing on things and seeing everyone, from different perspectives. You see what's going on, and then you see the perspective of the antagonist. And, and it builds. It's coming because it gives you those flashbacks to just like Ultron, just like any AI story.
Yeah.
When AI learns the truth about humanity, AI understands humanity is so flawed.
Oh yeah.
We are.
Gotta go.
Yeah.
So in a sense, like I said, it was done very well. The acting's great. It's to the point. There was no needless like, hey, I'm going to throw in a romantic scene or anything. Nothing that didn't go with the story was thrown into the movie.
Nothing that slowed it down or bogged it down in any way.
Mm.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but the only parts that I was confused about slightly was, I wish they would have elaborated a little more on the sisters and their relationship, because it's hinted at they weren't very close, or why they weren't very close. The sister that's in the movie, you kind of feel like maybe she was a little more outcasted from the family. She is a little off-putting. She's not very friendly. So I don't know if, they were going to do something more with that, and they just, decided not. And then I don't really understand why David gets killed, but, it's not like it takes away from the movie. You're just like, okay, but it's just like, why was he a target? He wasn't really a factor in the stuff that's driving the antagonist. Right. The antagonist is trying to get back to what it feels its primary directive is. Maybe he's not really he's not really a part of that.
Probably just cherry picked. Yeah.
He was like,
just
you know what?
She could.
Yeah.
You.
But
no,
overall, I thought it was done well. And if I had to, give a recommendation, I would definitely tell someone to watch it, especially, you got a Friday night open, got a couple hours, watch it. You'll probably enjoy it. Have you seen anything like Ex Machina, which, is a comparable movie? Ultron, Age of Ultron's got similar themes and tones. Anything man versus machine, it's similar, but it's done well and it's done under perspective. I like the fact that the protagonist is a female robotics engineer, programmer. It's a female character who's like a excellent top of her field, professional, and it's not on something like she does. She does. It's realistic.
Yeah.
She can be a super inventor. Just like real reality. She's not just she's a magazine writer, reviews, fashion.
Yeah.
Like, no, man, women have jobs too, where they're
Right.
like the head of the field of technology. Okay.
Right.
So that was cool to see that she wasn't just homemaker or I make dresses and I design, flower arrangement. No, she has a real cool job and she's smart and she's, like I said, she's off-putting. You don't really like her from the get-go, but she feels real, So overall, I liked it. I would give the movie probably a 7.5 to 8. Especially first time watching it, probably an 8.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
So
solid review. Yeah. After that, I'd be up to seeing that maybe once it comes out.
Yeah. It's not a horror movie that I feel like, Cameron, if you're not into the stuff that's kind of like jump scares and stuff, it doesn't have that really. It's more of a suspense builder. So it's not like, you're not waiting for bloody stuff to come out or monster. It's more of you see the building of suspense or like that pressure.
Yeah. You
and
can feel
then
it.
you feel it. But
I don't mind thrillers. I don't mind that stuff. So I could probably get through for sure. I'm definitely on jump scares. Will, D, what did you guys think?
You want me to go next, D, or are you?
Shoot, we can say best for last, or we can get you on up.
Okay. All right. So you want to do it, or?
Yeah. I'll probably just go ahead.
Okay. Cool.
Where do I start with this? This movie is pretty funny. Like out the gate, like we met the scientist, genius lady that's sisters, and the auntie of one of the characters, and the first thing that came out of me and Will's mouth was, "Oh shit, Karen."
Yeah.
She was so freaking mean to people. Like we wasted no time just
roasting her. Like
Karen. She has a crazy nosy neighbor and everything. They go back and forth, and then
two Karens.
Yeah. And then the niece,
there can only be one.
She's going through trauma, of course, because she had to experience both of her parents die in a car accident. So they sent a counselor over to the house to check up on her. And the auntie doesn't get along with her either. So it's just like, wow, she got ops everywhere.
Yeah.
She is so, but I like it though. It's authentic. She has personality and like you can associate things with her. So it's just like, I kind of get why she's cold and has kind of poor social skills, but her mind is kind of like securing the bag. So it's kind of understandable why the only people she can connect to the most is those two assistants at her job that was with her the whole way of building Megan and all that. And it's like, man, and everybody kind of has like a modern day like relevant personality, so that was pretty cool. The daughter felt like, or the niece felt like she was a real person, and it wasn't a generic script. Megan though, her personality, oh bro,
I loved it.
Next level ratchet, bro. It's moments in the movie where she's interacting with somebody and somebody catches an attitude with Megan, and Megan is like, "Oh, is that right, bitch?" And Megan is so gangster, bro. I couldn't dub this a horror movie and feel comfortable with myself anymore after that. It's because the whole movie is just like, you kind of got what you deserve. Little boy bullies.
She even kind of says that. You're right. She says that to him too. Like, what did you expect? You did, what did you expect when you did this? You made this. It's
like you're not going to power me down. No. I got backup files on everything, and
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me of how Alexa asks, or I don't know if you've heard it, but if you have Alexa, you've probably been asked to help Alexa learn stuff. Can you teach Alexa conversational stuff? Sometimes it'll come up occasionally where it asks you that, and it just reminded me of that in the movie. Where it's like she's learning, and now she understands sarcasm, like you said, where she comes right back at him with stuff.
Yeah.
As a computer, she picked it up and she knows, it just shows you the evolution of her learning,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She picks up emotions at one point. She's pissed off artificial intelligence coming your way. Watch out, guys. And there's been times where she cussed once the entire movie, and she ironically she cussed out the niece in mid process trying to kill her. He's like, "You little bitch," and it's
you ungrateful little,
you ungrateful little bitch. It's just she has so much personality for an AI that it really cracks me up. Because another good AI movie that I saw by Spike Jonze, where Scarlett Johansson plays an AI,
Yes,
and when she starts picking up emotion, she goes crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm in love with you and will do anything for you.
Yeah, they have a toxic relationship, like her and Joaquin Phoenix. It's just this is funny as hell.
Well, it is the Joker, so yeah.
It's sitting there are you texting other people? And it's maybe how many? A couple thousand.
Why do you need to know?
It's just bro, y'all need to break up and stay separated.
Oh my God.
This is a human in an AI, and it's dude.
Now I know it's not exactly the same, but would you be more scared of, if you had a choice, of Megan or Chucky?
Megan.
Megan?
As an ally or an enemy?
No, as an
enemy.
I'd be scared, like someone coming after you. How else are you going to be scared of them?
Would you rather fight Chucky or Megan, DeAndre?
Yeah, I'd fight Megan because she at least snap my neck.
Okay, make it quick.
Yeah, you want to die like that?
Yeah, she's military combat good when she drops people. So I can respect Megan.
But she can think on her own. So if she want to keep you alive, like she told the aunt, she'll do it real surgical and paralyze you. So I'd rather take Chucky.
The worst part about Chucky is he could possess you, but he'll put you through hell before he does that.
Yes. Okay, I guess we'll get to that here in a little bit, but I'm gonna let you finish up your review.
Yeah, I would say Megan for me probably gets a strong B+ and A-. The highest I'll go. I know I can't be over the top with the score, but it's just I would watch it again if I had access to it. I'm not going to rush back to the theaters to see it, but if it's on streaming services, I'm definitely going to be say less. And it's meant for people in our generation. It really is. It's James Wan, the guy responsible for Insidious, the Aquaman, and he has such a great reputation already, and he helps make this movie. Blumhouse, Akilah Cooper, she wrote the script, and she has a great reputation too. So it's I kind of knew when they first dropped the trailer that this movie was going to be smooth, and and then they had the dance scene. It's just I
don't think it'd be ready. That'd be too creepy and that'd be very weird. Just
it would. That's what made it pretty weird.
Yeah, she did it imagine getting chased down the hallway. You turn behind you and you see that, and she's just hey.
I'm gone, bro.
Nope. You turn back around.
I'm gone.
He's why am I on the top floor? You had to wait for the elevator too. It's bro, you just call it raps. You didn't have no emergency stairs or nothing, bro. You couldn't take a stairwell down. What's going on?
I'd rather take
I was expecting Megan to drop way more bodies too, but she just kept it personal. If you were involved with the girl that she had to protect, you probably catch it. You probably catch a fade.
Yeah.
And then at very end of the movie, she turns on them. He said, "You know what? I don't need to be linked to anybody. I'm just gonna take over the world." They destroy her physical body, but she uploaded herself into
the cloud.
a cloud. So now she's completely unstoppable. And
Enter the sequel.
oh,
Yeah.
and
Which I'm
there's
pretty sure they are working on making a sequel for this.
January 2025.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
There you go.
Yeah.
You already know more than me.
Dude,
Holy Christ.
I made sure that announcement made it to the group. It's like anybody that's seen this and enjoyed this, you're welcome.
Yeah.
We got a good couple of years till then.
So
For
that'd be
me,
season 5, Saturday Night Nerds.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh yeah, it would be.
Birthday boy.
Mm-hmm.
It would be. Okay. I guess to piggyback off of EJ and Deontay, like, man, dude, yeah, I loved it. Like, when we originally went in here, we were like hearing like, okay, January is the month that they dump all the garbage movies out in, right? They tricked us. They got us good with this one because we're like, okay, it'll probably at most be all right, but we ain't expected to do this good.
Right.
But like everything in the movie was hilarious. It was funny. It was the horror aspects was pretty much came from like, oh heck no, y'all done messed up. Like you understand that because you did this to her, you're on her blacklist. She's about to kill you.
Yeah.
You're about to catch a fade.
Yes,
like
Reddington.
That was where the horror aspect came from. But outside of that, it was like, man, like I just loved it. Like, and again, like, of course, I did wish they had expanded on what EJ was saying, the family dynamic between the sisters and the dad, and kind of give us a little glimpse of like what they were like as a family or whatever together, and then we would have been like, okay, I see. But the main two characters, because it's the little girl and the aunt, they were pretty realistic. The only unrealistic thing that I would say about it is, ain't no way I could have been them parents and let this little girl do what she did to me. Like, she cussed the aunt out, punches her, kicks her back seat. And then there's the little boy that cussed his mom out, called her by her name. I'm like,
Lori.
Yeah.
That was good.
Rein your children in.
Ain't no way. Me and Deontay, when all those things were happening,
he just straight turned around, looked at his mom like, "Fuck you, Holly." Like, okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
And me and Deontay,
that kid's like 9 years old, man. Like,
we were the
how do you learn this language?
We were the only two
throwing
black.
out the F-bomb at his mom about
Yeah. It was crazy, but we were the only two black people in the theaters, and the rest of the people that was there, which wasn't very many, because we went on like the second week, but the rest of them that was there were white, and so me and Deontay, we were loud as crap. We was like, ain't no way that could have been us. I would have wore that little girl out, bro. I would have. Ain't no way.
On today's episode of Growing Up Black.
Yeah, I probably would have gave her an accidental right as soon as she hit me, man. Like, but basically,
Mama would have sent us to the gulag, bro.
Yeah, definitely. And what Deontay was saying about Megan, like, yeah, she has so much personality. The comebacks was on point. Like, dude, it was hilarious, man. And as for like, dude, she's really well made. Like, if I was the woman, I would have never made a doll that's made out of titanium that can learn on the fly, just like that, can read your emotions, and can tell if you're lying. That's just way too. She's way too competent, way too
specific.
Yeah, really good at her job. Like,
yeah, it should be common sense not to make your killer robot Wi-Fi. Okay,
Exactly.
if they can get into the internet from just standing around, come on now.
Then we're
Make
screwed.
old school.
We're
If
screwed
I
as
built a killer
civilization.
robot, that bitch would have like a 28K modem, and it sound like he's
And be
dialing in
made
from
Yes.
AOL, like bang, bang, bang,
Yes.
bang.
be made out of all
That's how you
plastic.
do it.
It
Out
take
here
5 days to
hijacking
hook them up to the
Teslas.
internet.
That
It really is.
when you made her skeletal system out of titanium, you were making a war machine. Just
Mhm.
so you know, like right off that, like no, she would have been made out of all plastic with me.
You might as well make it out of antimonium. So it's like Wolverine
Yeah.
and Ultron had a baby. Like,
Yeah.
is that
I mean,
that bad?
And then
She's
she
over
was
there
super
hacking into your
strong.
house computer and shit, not even touching anything.
Mhm.
Why did you do that?
Why?
Like, yeah, man, like what the she
Why?
can download her consciousness to the cloud. Like what?
She'd be like have at best she'd have like the N64 internet connection. That's like the
Oh
best
my
you could
god,
ever
yeah.
have.
No, we're just gonna make her like Ultron and just be like, yeah.
Yeah, so now she's pretty much invincible because she can hop out of that body, go into the cloud, download herself into something else. Like, and not to mention she can electronically control things, turn your car on, drive it without her even using her hand. Like, what? You're making an assassin. Why would you do that?
Who
She
knows?
Google Maps that house and came
Google
straight
Maps.
home.
Yeah, bro. And
She
then
just downloaded the app, dude, and was like, boop.
dude, the part that got me was when she was like, if she comes in here, I swear I'll pop your head right off your shoulders.
Hmm.
I was like, what the?
She went nuts.
She could do it.
Yeah,
She's
she can do
strong
it
enough to
too.
do it too.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
That's why I
Yeah.
said I'd rather fight Chucky because at least he's like made out of cotton. You can burn him and all of that. You can't do jack to her.
Yeah.
Dude, what
So
I hate
basically,
about-
everyone here is more scared of Megan than Chucky.
Well, Chucky
Yeah, oh,
Chucky does have a stealth advantage because he's so dang on small that he could just run laps around your couch before you
Yeah.
finally see him.
I mean,
And
to
when
me,
you see him, he gets a knife in.
it's Chucky falls in the same kind of category as like a Freddy Krueger. He's joking around a lot. You know, he
Yeah.
might try to kill you, but he gives you time when he's telling his one-liners so you could kick him across the room.
Yeah.
I mean,
He
he
doesn't
weighs like
give you time.
5 pounds. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like if you were wrestling your teddy bear. You know,
Exactly.
come
Yeah.
on, man.
He's just so small. It's just like
Yeah.
he could swing that knife, and then you try to reach for him so you could choke his ass out, and he cuts your hand. You're like, ah. It's
But
like,
he's
I just
5
put a
pounds.
Rubbermaid garbage can on it and sit on it.
like if
Yeah.
I had like a
Boom.
hockey stick, I'd hit the shit out of Chucky for
Yeah.
sure. But
Exactly.
Take one of
And
those
on-
big garbage cans, put
on top
Chucky in
of
it, put
that-
the lid down, put a brick on it. Bye.
Chucky has too many weaknesses. You can set him on fire.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He bleeds. He hurts just like us. It takes him forever to get a spell off and switch bodies. He has to do that whole 5-minute chant just to
Yeah.
swap bodies. So
Who never-
yeah, like what are we talking about? I'd rather take him on.
He basically a tiny Batman, but as long as you can hit him first, you have no problems with him.
I just think
Exactly.
of
That's the problem,
Anchorman, like
You can't
when
get the drop on
Anchorman
Batman.
when the man punts Baxter off the bridge, you know, Jack Black's character.
God.
I just imagine that with Chucky. Chucky come running at me with a butcher knife, I just do a punt.
Yeah,
And then-
like what the
You know, like bye.
So
So-
all in all, everyone here recommends me, along with anyone watching and listening, to go and watch Megan.
Oh, definitely. Give it a watch.
You would
Yep.
enjoy yourself for sure.
You'll enjoy yourself even if you just take the time to think about stuff like, you know, it's the simplest things. Like, I don't know how many people remember iRobot or liked iRobot, but if you're talking with something that takes everything logically and literally and you give it a directive, okay, that directive needs to be as pure and you know, you can't have any vague portions to the directive. If I tell
Yeah.
it, do not let anyone in this room. Okay. Now you have just given it a directive. It's going to interpret that to the utmost, literally. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a machine. You can't tell it things like that. You've got to be like, hey, I would like to be alone in the room. I don't want to be disturbed. Can you, stop anyone who shows up and let me know who it is? And I'll think about whether I talk to them.
Yeah.
But you got to be specific. It's a machine. If you tell it, I want you to kill everybody on the left-hand side of this street, it's gonna do that.
And where she messed up was when she told it to protect the little girl both physically and emotionally. So that means if she gets sad, if she get angry, if you
But
make
she made
her
that
depressed,
the first directive. That's where she messed up, because then after that she tries to be in control. But you've already given it a directive. Nobody can harm this girl physically or emotionally. So from then on, every time she goes and harms her niece's feelings, she's violating the first directive she gave that robot.
And Megan's just like,
she's not thinking. You know what I mean? You're. It doesn't matter what you tell that robot now. You gave it a directive not to let that happen.
Right.
Exactly.
So
your own worst enemy.
Yeah.
And not to mention, like, she's super strong. She could pick a grown man up off the floor by his neck, slam you on the you're messing.
It's like Jen.
You're messing up. Oh my God!
It's like Jen to do that to me. Like
it's that mutant gene that she has.
Holy crap!
It's like, did you do the dishes? And I'll be like, what? And before I can even finish that sentence.
Oh my gosh.
Ben had a quick question in the comments, and he was saying, how would you beat the It Follows demon? And it's just like,
that would be tough.
Because the It Follows demon is a huge metaphor for like sexually transmitted diseases, in my opinion.
The only thing I could think of is, I don't know how many, I saw that question too, and I thought it was a good one. The only thing I could think of is, have you seen the movie Fallen with Denzel Washington?
Yeah.
No.
I have not.
All right. If you get a chance, it's an early movie of his. It's back in the 90s. It's got John Goodman in it. Yeah. Denzel's a detective, and he's they catch this serial killer who's, really, really terrible serial killer. They haven't put to death, but the serial killer promises to come after him beyond the grave. Okay. And you basically find out through the thing. And the reason I'm mentioning this movie is it kind of links to It Follows. It's a demon that can transfer itself into different people by touch or within a certain range. It's a biblical demon. Okay. His name, I think it's Azazel or something. Yeah. As long as he's within a certain range in a certain amount of time, when he dies, the body dies, he can jump to the next one. Or if they're living people and he passes by and touches them, he can jump into their body. So this serial killer was actually possessed by that demon. So when they killed his body, he just flowed out to the next person that was close enough for him to get into. Yeah. And he goes after Denzel to try to punish him for destroying his favorite body. You know?
That sounds insane.
Actually,
but the way he ends up trying to fight him is what I was thinking for It Follows. Like, It Follows is pretty much coming after just you. It doesn't care about anyone else around you, whatever. Yes. But the main thing with It Follows is that you're the only one that could see it. Okay. And it's going to come at you by looking like something or someone that you've either seen or have some kind of emotional connection to, yada, yada, yada. But if you were far enough away and there was nobody else around, whatever's coming at you at that moment is that thing.
Yeah, it just walks out in broad daylight.
That would be the only thing I could think of, is if it can be hurt, I would go out to the middle of nowhere and wait.
And be ready for that dude.
Get that
because he's going to come. And if I have time, like prep time, like Bruce, I would have already triggered up traps and everything around me, because he's trying to get to me. He's not thinking about what's all in the ground, what's all this other stuff. He just wants to come to me. Right. So, that's my idea for beating it, because I saw the question.
Honestly, if it's a sexually transmitted disease, I would just drink a whole thing of apple cider vinegar, maybe scare it off, and then some BC powder.
Yeah.
Or take some laxative.
Put some prophylactic on each finger, it's a condom here.
Hey man, it wasn't my fault.
Take some chocolate laxative, and when it jumps in your body, it'll want to jump right back out because you're gonna be stuck on the toilet. Okay. So I do that.
You know what's crazy about if the demon from It Follows, it kind of rapes its victims too. It's
Yeah,
it's
just
just
like
like
terribly. I
of,
mean,
yeah.
it's like, oh God.
Yeah.
it's just like
It kind
Yeah,
of
what you were
R
describing,
word.
what you were
R
describing,
word is
EJ, it reminds me of from this Fox series called Sleepy Hollow. There was an episode where you know what I'm talking about, thank goodness, where they actually had a demon like possessing, jumping from body to body just by touch. Wasn't exactly like how you described it, but it reminded me of that. That was a good series, and that definitely like
Oh
followed
yeah,
along.
definitely. I love the first 2 seasons of that show. It was
Sleepy Hollow
great.
was so good. I loved it. I mean, even when it kind of like got a little bit down on 33 and 4, I still wanted it to keep going.
Yeah, because the acting was great, and this, it was good. But yeah, it's along the same kind of lines. Fallen. If you get a chance, if you're a fan of Denzel or John Goodman or a kind of good cop, not horror. It's not horror because
Thriller?
it's not, but
It's a thriller.
it's
Supernatural
called
thriller?
Fallen, and I always like the stuff that kind of have historical connections and whatnot.
Mhm.
Like the fact that it actually gets traced back to the Book of Angels and Demons. I believe it's a Catholicism keeps track of that. They have like texts that list the names of different fallen angels. Where
Right.
most Christian beliefs, they don't have that. They only go from the Bible, and the Bible only mentions 2 or 3 angels by name: Lucifer, Abaddon, and Michael and them archangels.
Michael.
But the
Yeah.
real like other angels, it only mentions,
Yeah,
So
it doesn't really dive too deep in the Fallen like that.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
And Deontay, well, have you guys ever heard or seen Sleepy Hollow any?
Yeah.
I've tried my absolute best to watch it,
I
and I
seen
never
Sleepy
made
Hollow once, but I barely remember.
It's a really good series. If you guys have the time and are able to
Oh,
try and watch it.
series.
Yeah, there was a
Yeah,
series
I've
on
seen
Fox.
the series.
Yeah,
I've seen it.
Okay, it's really good. If you
Yeah.
can try, D, or anyone who on here who heard of it or haven't, I think it's on Hulu. Like, look it up. It's
It
really
really
good.
was underrated, though.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It
I
was
love the
really
movie,
good.
so I might have to check the show out.
Oh,
show,
for sure.
the show
Yeah.
was
The
good.
show was fantastic. What did we want to cover any news, D, that was left over?
Oh yeah. Oh, what was your overall score, Will?
I
For
didn't give
Megan?
it yet, but for Megan, I would give Megan probably the same thing that you and EJ did. I'd probably give Megan a B plus or a maybe a A minus probably, and the score I would give it is probably like an 8.5. It was pretty good to me.
Okay,
Yeah.
I watched it twice.
I'll definitely have to give it a watch whenever it comes to streaming.
Yeah, Blake and Ben, if you're still in the comments, y'all definitely give it a shot and let us know what you
Yeah,
think
and if you're
about
interested, it's on Amazon for Amazon Prime pre-release. It's $20 to watch it, or $24.
25 to buy it. Yeah.
15 to watch. 15 to watch. I don't know, but anyway, it's 25 to buy it. It's like
Yeah,
I spend more than that to go to the movie theater. So I'm like, hey,
exactly.
if I spend $20 at home and I get to have my popcorn and my drinks and my couch.
Yeah, it's way cheaper than going to the movies.
Exactly.
Big time.
Yeah.
Ben loved the Sleepy Hollow reference and said, if you can watch Velma, you can watch anything.
Yeah.
That is a
That's
true
a fact.
statement.
Velma
I
is
could
rock
probably watch
bottom.
the Tom Green show from MTV again because I watched Velma.
Hey, you got time. You got time for that. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Go back and watch him have his testicle surgery on MTV. You're just like,
dude, I'd probably watch Invincible over Velma.
Oh yeah,
Invincible is so fucking good. It's so much better. It's so much better. Which, by the way,
what do you think about it?
Which, by the way, season 2 of Invincible should come out by the end of the year at least.
Oh, really?
Season 2 better go hard, man.
It should. It did better because they've been working this for a good couple of years.
Does he get any better in the comics? Does he get any better than Invincible?
Stronger?
Yeah.
No, does he get better at fighting? Because he fights like
bitter.
I would think he get his fade ran.
He didn't in the comics. He really does get really like stronger than his dad, and like he becomes like I think the strongest Viltrumite.
Well, I mean, does he get better at fighting? Because he fights. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, he's also
know.
a teenager.
Yeah, they teach him
Yeah.
how to fight and everything.
I mean, right now he loses to Logan Paul, man, in the ring. I mean, he just like,
Dude.
Logan Paul, really?
yeah. I mean, he could be
Big-
as strong as he wants, but he'd still get his ass whooped by like, I mean, you could put him
Hey,
in the
be
ring.
careful. Logan Paul might come after you, man.
Oh man,
Yeah.
be careful, man.
That's true.
Dude,
Right.
I spent all of season 1 just watching that poor fool get dragged.
Yeah.
That was not enjoyable for
his
me.
comeback for sure.
Yeah, it's a good comic book.
Yeah, the comic is so much better. Ben said
Robert Kirkman.
S tier animated TV A comic, reverse that. Actually, no, don't hype the TV show up that much either. S ranked comic book, D ranked TV show.
God dang, bro, you hate it.
That was a terrible adaptation for me. I hate that show with a burning passion.
Which show?
Invincible.
Invincible.
Oh, okay.
Total nightmare. Oh my God.
I just thought that if you're gonna name yourself Invincible, you don't want to lose every fist fight you're in.
Exactly.
Not
Like
good.
that's crazy.
Spent so much time in the hospital, man. He
should have just changed it. Yeah, exactly. He's always getting out of hospital. He should have just made himself called Vincible. He's not invincible.
Yeah.
He's Vincible. Like I am Vincible. You can vince me all you want. They vince me left and right.
I'm pretty sure he has a huge medical debt. I'm pretty sure he has a lot of medical.
Oh man,
his medical bills are like just coming out. Like, damn.
You think Vader was complaining about his medical bill?
Oh
yeah,
man. Look at Invincible, man. He
Yeah,
owes so much money.
You wouldn't want to be his insurance company. You're just like, you got your ass kicked again.
And on top of that, he got to pay all those fines, man, because freaking. Oh my God, the damage he did to all those buildings and stuff, like
that they did to all those buildings.
Man, his freaking dad.
Yeah, they
pushed him all the way through a subway and just smashed every human his body came across. Okay, bro.
That was disrespectful.
We're painting a bloody picture for people who haven't seen the show, so we apologize.
If y'all into that rapping shit, definitely watch that show. If you into rapping shit, watch it.
Yes, it was. I wanted to go back and say what I brought up earlier is that HBO Max and decided to cancel Doom Patrol and Titans like in the middle of their 4th season. So their seasons now are going to be their last ones, which is very sad and very heartbreaking to fans who have watched these shows for so long. I'm sorry I brought that news up to you like that, Will.
Oh no, yeah.
I thought that the Titans was starting to really take off on its own. The people were saying the last season. I was like,
it was. I mean, it had a bit of a jumpy, bumpy start in the first season, but I still feel as it kept going on a season, it got better. Oh, hi,
yo.
But yeah, it's definitely gotten better. Like I mean, last year it's
EJ's twin.
Last season they brought in Red Hood and Scarecrow, and now they're doing Brother Blood, and they got in Jinx, and they even had Lex Luthor on there too, played by Titus Welliver.
Mm.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And Doom Patrol has always been really good, and it
has. I watched that. I watched the first season, and then I got started on the second, and I didn't get a chance to continue. But
you should get back into watching, EJ. It's really good. It's gotten crazier and crazier, and it just hasn't stopped.
Dan wants to know if any of us can do a Rick and Morty voice.
I don't think so.
I'd probably
Morty.
try.
You gotta stop that, Morty. Stop it. Oh man. You really gotta stop that, Morty.
Yeah, there's that.
Well, brothers.
Yeah, there's that too.
Brothers, I gotta call it a night. So as you
right.
saw, I got attacked by my little one, so I got to call it a night. Thank you very much. It's always
All right.
enjoyable.
You're welcome.
Stay tuned
Thank
for
you
the
for coming out.
announcements. We're about
Yeah,
to.
excellent. Thank you for having me. It's an honor. But
All right.
have a good night. Good seeing you all.
We'll see you next time.
Definitely. All right.
And then like you brought up, Will, there was the whole Justin Roiland debacle.
Oh,
like
I heard about that.
But I thought that's why you brought it up for some reason, like new voices, because
Ben was asking if any of us can do a Rick and Morty voice.
That's probably why he asked.
Yeah.
But yeah, Adult Swim and Hulu have cut him off completely from Rick and Morty, from Solar Opposites, from
What
Koala
the heck
Man.
happened?
But
domestic abuse?
Yeah, there have been some domestic abuse charges and speculations, and they just cut him off after that, so that he'll have to go to trial. I'm pretty sure. So
that's crazy.
I know, and
they don't even release any further details on it.
I mean, as far as I know, anyone can look this up online, but yeah.
For domestic abuse, right? He said
it should be. It should be domestic abuse. I could be wrong. Like I said,
what did he do?
I don't know the specifics. I mean, if anything, you can look this up online and see for yourself. It's easy to find, but yeah. But yeah, there's that. And on a little bit brighter news, Superman and Lois, they have casted their Lex Luthor. It's going to be Michael Cudlitz from The Walking Dead, Mr. Abraham Ford, Hell's Bells.
Is he on the show now, or is he's coming in
he's
a couple
going
episodes?
To come, because season 3 of Superman and Lois hasn't started until March. So we'll get to see that. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Bald head, clean shaven face. That's all I want.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, whenever I think of Michael Cudlitz, I just think of redheaded, mouthy as hell Abraham. So I don't know what it's going to be.
He
could pull it off as Lex, but he's got to get rid of all that freaking hair.
I would think so too, but I don't know. I mean, I didn't know what to think when John Cryer was first cast as Lex Luthor on Supergirl, and he killed it, in my opinion. He killed it. So I'm not going in. I'm not having any expectations with him on this. So yeah.
Yeah. So when we return to the group, either sometime this weekend, we should definitely do a poll of where people would rank the different live action Lex Luthor.
Who's your favorite Lex Luthor?
Yeah, who would you put at the top and who would you put at the bottom? Gene
Hackman, Michael Rosenbaum, John Cryer, and all the way at the bottom, Jesse Eisenberg.
Jesse. If the whole group says Jesse at the bottom, I would lose my.
I can't imagine they wouldn't. I mean, but we'll see what happens. D, did you have any news to bring up or no?
Yeah, I'll let Will do the sponsorship announcement. I got one announcement. I think. Actually, Will, you want to do the sponsorship announcement real quick? I got to remember a couple things.
Okay, so the big announcement that we were telling you guys, waiting to tell you guys about and fill you in on is that we got our first 2 sponsorships, but one of them we were late. We were late on. We were supposed to have Raid Shadow Legends. They contacted us, but we were too late, and we thought we seen the email a little too late. But we do got one with HelloFresh, so we're definitely going to be doing a lot of promotion for HelloFresh. So we really want to try to get as many subscriptions as we can into HelloFresh for it to really count, and at least 10 people. 10
subscribers and we hit the
10
goal.
subs and we hit the goal, or it could be more than that. You know what I'm saying? But a minimum of 10. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, tell your mother, tell your wife, tell your sister, your brother, everybody that if they use.
Tell the guy down the street. Tell your mailman. Tell anyone.
Tell everybody. Tell everybody. But
right.
yeah, if you use our code, we'll have it up. The code and everything. We'll have it up during the live streams that we do, and also we'll post it on social media. The code that you need to put in order to get your first 21-week free meals and then free shipping. And so yeah, but yeah, if y'all want to help us out, support Saturday Night Nerds,
Help
and
us out, and we can help you out.
yeah,
Absolutely.
and
How
we're
can we help?
like, and then if we do a good job on this, we'll get even more. We'll either stay with HelloFresh and they'll continue to sponsor us. That means we're doing a good job if they continue to sponsor us. So that's what we want to do, is be a constant customer or a employee of HelloFresh.
We want
And
to do a good job no matter what.
yeah, and so and also we'll probably end up in the future getting more sponsors, and yeah. So yeah, that's that right there. We got our first sponsorship. So yeah,
And so they're about to make some money.
we about to get on the map. The word's about to get out. Our
I'll
name's
take
about to
whatever I can
spread.
get out of this.
Yeah, we definitely got to revive the merch business, and then we got let's see. So HelloFresh is paying us through SNN's Twitch channel. So all that money is going to go back into the show, everything that Saturday Night Nerds needs. And we're also looking into getting on YouTube, and there was one other streaming platform, but YouTube for sure.
TikTok.
You get paid. Yeah, TikTok. Yeah, HelloFresh would definitely hook it up.
Maybe eventually get a Patreon service.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we kind of were on Patreon for a while, and then we're moving everything, all of our bonus content to That Feeling Podcast Network. So if you want to see like our bonus shows now, definitely subscribe to the DFPN Patreon, and you'll be able to catch like Straw Hat Sundays, which starts officially on Sunday, February 5th, where we review the One Piece manga, latest chapter drops, and all bonus content like that will go straight to DFPN Patreon. And then if those of you that have missed the original announcement, Saturday Night Nerds has landed a spot at Anime Con in Cape.
Yes.
So we will be doing a show live from the panel room, and so shout out to Cape Events, shout out to Comically Inclined for hooking us up with this opportunity. We're really grateful of that, and it's going to be an anime special that we do from the live show. So hands on deck, anime fans. If you're in the local area, you can come out and see us, or if you're at home on your phone, you can watch the show.
Yeah. So yeah, come through there. Yeah, show us, show the support. Help support us, and yeah, we're expanding big time, and we just want to reach every corner of the world. Just saying, like, we're definitely gonna if everything goes right, we get our money right and stuff, we'll be able to go to even bigger Comic Cons, even bigger events. If we get more followers over there on Twitch, become partners and stuff, we may even get invited to some Twitch events and stuff like that. So yeah, we're trying to spread the word and the gospel of Saturday Night Nerds.
Gospel said Luke 24 /
Cameron 26:28 said.
With this beard, I could pull off of being like a pastor, like preach. I'll be preaching.
Put on the long robe.
I'll be Jesse Custer.
Yeah, you be one of the three wise men. You can like bring like the frankincense, and like me and Will got like the gold and the myrrh
and the
all
myrrh.
that.
Yeah.
It's like, cool.
Yeah.
The
That's a
three
bag
wise
right there.
men of Saturday Night Nerds with it.
That's a bag.
Yeah.
But no, that's the point of all this to
Yeah.
include everyone, to enjoy ourselves, have a good time, and
And make a
reach as
bag.
many people. Make the bag, yes, but also try to reach as many people as we can with our nerdum and our humor and our what we
Spreading the
bring
gospel.
out to the world. Spread nerdiness and kindness,
Nerdism.
love out into the world.
Absolutely.
I call it nerdism.
Yeah.
Nerdism.
Yeah.
So a quick recap on all the announcements. Hello Fresh sponsorship. So be on the lookout for that. The deadline for us to get 10 subscribers is February 13th. So everything bonus content material that we got coming out from here on out is probably going to have at least 2 hours worth of ads on HelloFresh in between. And then April 1st and 2nd, Anime Con. And last but not least, February 5th, Straw Hat Sundays begins. And we're going to try to keep SNN news going and other bonus content as well, so we can get more opportunities to get these ads out. But other than that, we pretty much been on the ball, and we got some more legal stuff to handle for Saturday Night Nerds and get this brand branded. And the next time you'll see a main episode will be around Quantumanium release days. So we have a special guest coming for episode 2, so brace yourselves for that. So we'll have some good topics to talk about, and episode 2 should be probably going to go down as one of my favorite episodes in SNN history. So
yeah,
I can't wait to see Kane the Conqueror. So yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. I think is that it. That's
I
all
believe
your
that's it.
announcement.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Play us out.
And March coming soon, hopefully.
We'll save the merch as soon as we can.
As soon as we can.
Yes, sir. But that's it for Saturday Night Nerds Season 3 premiere, Episode 1. We thank y'all for coming out and celebrating Emperorking Wil's birthday with us.
Yep.
And we will see you guys. We'll see you guys in bonus content again, but for the main show, we'll see you in February. So stay safe, stay nerdy, and stay blessed. Love you guys. Thank you for all the support for 3 seasons. And we hope you guys stick around and keep showing us love.
Yeah. Thank